Hey guys, welcome back. I am here with another Confessions of a Christian Woman, and this is a topic that I've been thinking about the past week or so, and one of these verses I've been kind of running through my head, so I'd like to share with you guys ways to protect your mind and guard your heart, specifically your mind, because it is a battlefield up in there. Let's jump right in. Okay, so why is it important to protect your mind and guard your heart? Well, most of us suffer with a lot of negativity. A lot of us have anxiety, fear, depression, temptations, doubt, judgment, insecurities, bad thoughts. I mean, you name it. Like, there's a ton of things that we struggle with in our mind. So ultimately, when your mind is wandering and thinking all these negative things, it really goes down. It's like a poisonous venom that goes through your body. Basically, it can take over your life. It's a struggle between good and evil. And so obviously protecting your mind is going to end up protecting your heart and protecting your actions and who you are as a person and your character. So it's very important. And oftentimes we don't, on a day-to-day basis, think about how we can protect that, because we just live our lives and we do what we got to do, and we think we're capable of anything and everything until something hits us, you know what I mean? So we want to dwell on positive things. We want to live a life that's positive and pure and happy and give off something that is full of light and full of positivity. I definitely understand enjoying negativity at times. I can relate to that. Sometimes we dwell in our sorrows or our anger or whatever is in our emotion at the moment. And so you want to talk about it and you want to complain about it. And I've experienced the kind of pleasure in that. And although some of you may also enjoy being negative and complaining and doing stuff like that, like a life that's positive and uplifting and looks at the positives in situations, I guarantee it's way more satisfying to live that way than to be constantly negative. Let's just jump into the scripture. I'm going to open my Bible to Philippians 4. This is the verse that I've been kind of saying to myself. So, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So this is a verse like I didn't memorize, I kind of want to memorize, but I have been running, this is the one I've been running through my head. I was repeating that to myself because the mind is a battlefield. If we thought about that half the time that we think about the negative things, how much more accomplished would we be in life? How much more joyful would we be? And how many better decisions will we make? I remember being little and having so many nightmares. Night after night, I would just really suffer with having really bad nightmares, and I was so fearful when I went to bed. It's funny now that I think about it. I would literally wrap my head in the blanket, and like I always slept with a nightlight, and I was just fearful of everything. But that fear transformed into nightmares, I guess, you know, whatever was going through my mind, I would just dwell on it and I would have nightmares. So one night my dad came into my room and he said, well, if you're having nightmares, you have to say, I'm not going to have a nightmare tonight, and believe it. And then you're not going to have a nightmare. And being a little girl, you know, you don't really understand that, but then you're also more susceptible to believing things, and you believe your father. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So I went to bed and I said, I'm not going to have a bad dream tonight. And I believed it. And what do you know? I didn't have a bad dream. And the night after that, I didn't. And then after that, every night following that, I just kept saying to myself, I'm not going to have a bad dream tonight. And I truly believed it because if it literally didn't happen. So I even had more confidence in that, like, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna have a bad dream. It's actually really crazy that I think about that now, because you can literally transform your mind. You can literally transform, and that can transform your life. Like a switch, like a light switch. The things that you say, the things that you speak, the things that you dwell on or you allow in can completely change everything. Speak positivity on that and it can change. When you wake up in the morning, do you have a routine? Are you taking an amount of time to be quiet? So me and my husband like to do devotions and pray together in the morning. Some days, our schedules are not, we don't, but most days we do. And that's great for our relationship. But then also when we're not, like when he'll go to work or whenever I go about my day, I still feel the need to connect with God one-on-one or to hear what God's saying to me. I mean, there's days that I don't, but most of the time I do have that yearning. And like one important key is quieting everything down, because there's so many distractions, so much distractions that you don't even realize. Even the slightest bit of noise, like a lawn being mowed, music in the car very quietly, a TV on in the background, anything, like everything can be a distraction or a buzz in your ear, and you have to literally shut everything down and kind of be in silence, because it's in that time where you get the most reflection and you can hear your thoughts, and you can hear, sometimes it's hard to do because you don't really want to hear those things. You want to be distracted. You want to ignore the bad things. You don't want to deal with them. It's hard to deal with them. I totally get it. But the more you kind of discipline yourself to just take that time and to really genuinely try to work on yourself, the better you'll get at it, and the more you'll see the need for it, because it's so refreshing to be alone and to hear your thoughts and dwell on the things that you have to work on. Are my thoughts pure, lovely, admirable? How am I going to start my day? God, what do you want to teach me today? Please help me throughout this day to be positive. Please help me in every aspect of my life. This is a huge one that we don't really like to deal with. What you're allowing and what you're feeding your soul. The shows you watch, the movies you watch, the music that you listen to, and the people that you surround yourself with. These are huge, huge factors of what can affect your mind. I'm going to be honest with you. I happen to love music and love every genre, almost every genre. I just have such a love for it, and it's hard to not listen to certain music. But I also know my trigger points. There's certain songs that can get thoughts that are not pure, not lovely, not righteous, not excellent, not praiseworthy, and you don't necessarily think about it when you're listening to music because you're having fun listening to it and it's good and it makes you feel good. But do we often enough think about the effects of music? Because music is powerful, whether you believe it or not, it is. And it can make you be prideful, it can make you be envious, or make you feel like you need more things in life. It can make you, it can make you think that you're more than what you are, or do bad things, get involved with things that you shouldn't, the nightlife, the drugs. And so you have to know your trigger points. So for me, I love music. Me and my husband, that's one of our things, like we struggle. Obviously there's certain songs like I'm not going to listen to that I know are just like, get out of here. Get out of here. Just don't be ignorant to that. You know what I mean? I used to laugh at like adults when I was younger, like, don't listen to that or watch that. It's not good for you. And you're like, why? But it truly has an effect on you. It can, because it's manipulating, and you just have to know what your trigger points are and be aware of it, and don't just saturate your ears with the same type of music. Open up your windows, expand your horizons, listen to something else, don't be stuck on something. When it comes to shows and movies, a trigger point for me, well, I've never struggled with this because some people love horror movies and really sick movies and they get pleasure out of watching it. And it doesn't make you a bad person, but I never had that. I never liked watching disturbing movies or horror. I am very, very, very sensitive to that, and I'm very sensitive to the presence of evil, and like I said, I used to suffer with nightmares and fear, and so whatever I can do to avoid that, I will not fix my eyes on it. I will shut it off. I will not want it around me. I will walk out of the room. I'm like, no, hell no, I do not want to be around that. Do not bring that around me. Horror movies, disturbing movies, like I'm never into that, you know. But there's still other movies. There's like dramas, like thrill, like just drama, and like I don't know, like let's see, like 50 Shades of Grey. I've watched it. Like there's movies that I've watched that, like, you know, but you have to know what triggers you. You have to be aware of it. There's still things, there's movies and situations and shows. I was the biggest reality TV junkie, and don't get me wrong, I still enjoy some reality TV, but like I was like hardcore show after show after show, saturating my mind with crap. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Love and Hip Hop, Mob Wives, Housewives. I mean, anything and everything possible that you could watch that's crap, that's reality TV, maybe amusing, but really what am I feeding myself? What are you feeding yourself? It's garbage. It doesn't bring any positivity into your life. It doesn't bring anything that can help you be a better person. All it does, all the Kardashians was doing for me was making me be envious of their life, even though what they have, the material things, are not, it's so not meaningful. It doesn't matter if your heart and your inner self is not right. Like those things just don't matter. But you get envious of things. Or Love and Hip Hop, it just brings like negativity, hatred, gossiping, fighting. Mob Wives, the cursing that would come out of their mouths, you know, it sounds silly, and I get it. I love those kind of stupid, I used to love it, like I watch it, but all the hours spent watching that could have been watching something positive and uplifting, and not feeding myself these manipulating things that can warp you and warp your mind and make you think certain things, because they really do have an effect on you and you don't realize it, and you just be mindful of it. Don't be ignorant of it. Don't just say no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you know, you gotta protect your mind. And so cutting that out of my life has really, I mean, I think about all the hours I spent watching that, and I'm like, what the heck? I could have been doing something so much more valuable. But it definitely can protect you from that. And now I see those things, and I think about the things that they have, and I'm like, there's so much more to life. The friends that you have, even, you know, the family members, just different things, the negativity that you allow, people or bad influences, people that do bad things that you know you shouldn't be involved with. Like, are you protecting yourself in the situation? You may think like, oh, they're fine, they're just my friends, oh no, I'm not like that, I'm a good influence on them. And you're right, you can't not go out into the world. But understand that the people you surround yourself with ultimately shape and form who you are. And not only that, but you know, as strong as you can be, it doesn't matter. They're not bringing life into your world. They're bringing either this steady pace, or just bringing you backwards. They're not helping you move forward. And if they're triggering bad things, do you know your value of who you are as a person and your character? And you know that you're worth being around people who are on that same level, or if not higher. And I don't mean that in a prideful way. It's, you have to surround yourself with people who are positive, uplifting, not doing the things that you are tempted with, not doing the things that you are struggling with, because that's not going to help you. It's going to weigh you down. Ultimately, you might just crumble along with them. You need people to uplift you. So that's a big one. Who you're surrounding yourself with, and who is holding you accountable. All things that we have to think about and pray about, and it's easier said than done, but think about it, you know, don't be ignorant and don't be foolish enough to think that you're strong enough in every area, because we are all weak. and we all make mistakes. So the things you listen to, the things that you watch, the things that you read, the things and the people that you surround yourself with are all factors in how to protect that can harm your mind or protect your mind and your heart. I hope this was enlightening in some way and helpful to you. I love you guys so much, and I'm so happy that you're enjoying these videos. And please continue to give me the feedback. It really helps encourage me and helps me to see what you guys want to see. And I am looking forward to seeing you in my next video. I love you guys so much, and